Hello, Internet. Welcome to Studio 3 here at NBC HQ. It's Josh Norris with the Rotoworld football crew. That's Nick, that's John Daigle, that's Jesse Pantusco, and Patrick Doherty here with our rookie breakouts ahead of 2019, other than Kyler Murray, I should say. Right, guys? Because Kyler Murray would be our pick no matter what. I mean, he is at the top on the front of our draft guide. So, Pat, lead us off with another name other than Kyler.
Since we can't go Kyler, I'll go his teammate Andi Isabella.
Love it.
Is a box checker as a rookie. Elite athlete, elite college production. Has real-life draft pedigree. Went in the second round. Going to be one of the most high-volume offenses in the NFL. He had a little scare with a minor knee injury. There's some talk, is he really like the number 3 receiver? But more signs point to yes, that he will be in the 3 receiver sets. And he's just someone as a rookie who checks all the boxes.
And I think he's kind of become a little bit of a value because of that injury, right? Because he missed so much time, and then as soon as he came back, he was reinserted as the number 3 wide receiver next to Allari Fitzgerald, next to Christian Kirk. And he's going as wide receiver 75. These are some of the names around him. Quincy Enunwa, Antonio Callaway, David Moore, Taylor Gabriel. I mean,
these are all guys on the bench.
This is the team, the Cardinals, that probably will lead the league in 3 and 4 wide receiver sets.
I mean, we've failed as a fantasy industry of Andi Isabella because we've been trying to hype him. I feel like wide receiver 75 is just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's slightly concerning that Keyshawn Johnson's apparently outplaying him at camp right now. But as you said, we literally got like 2 extra rounds of value because of the minor injury. Totally. Now he's back at camp. He's going to play in their first preseason game, so we'll get to see him as well. So no, like I'm actually buying the value right now.
And slightly concerning that Michael Crabtree's entering the picture a little bit. They're not done flirting with him a little bit. So I don't know what's going to happen. I guess I want to see these last couple preseason games
just
shake
going
out.
to run a lot of 5 receiver sets.
Not concerning, I will say, even though like he was on top of the depth chart, is Kevin White. Like, we don't have to worry about
I don't think so either.
Our friend
Forgot
Kevin
even
White.
existed.
Jesse Pantusco, which rookie are you excited to see in 2019?
I'm pretty pumped about David Montgomery, third-round running back out of Iowa State, who the Bears drafted basically to replace Jordan Howard, who they traded to the Eagles. And he's not going to blow you away with his athleticism. I think he ran only like a 4.63 at the combine, but he still makes guys miss.
Yep.
He forced 100 missed tackles at Iowa State last year, which led the country. And whereas Jordan Howard was really a one-trick pony, Montgomery's got a little more depth to his game. He can catch passes. I think he caught 58 over his final 2 seasons at Iowa State. Showed pretty well as a receiver in the first preseason game against Carolina. Had 3 for 30, including a really nice catch and run for 23 yards. And, you know, for all of Jordan Howard's shortcomings, he was still a pretty productive fantasy running back in this Matt Nagy offense. He rushed for over 900 yards, 9 touchdowns, and I think that David Montgomery is a more well-rounded player and offers arguably a higher ceiling.
Yeah, and absolutely. This is a team that will have positive neutral game scripts heading into the fourth quarter, and that was Jordan Howard's role. It was a closer.
Are we sure about that? I mean, I think this team's going to take a big step back this year.
I think I still believe in this offense. My only issue with the pick, Jesse, is I think he's going to have a breakout, but at some point he might become too rich for our blood when it comes to drafting him because he's going as running back 25 now.
I think he's already too rich.
Yeah, and that's, you know, ahead of Philip Lindsay, who has done it. That's around James White, who has done it. That's around Sony Michel, Chris Carson.
A guy we're going to talk about here in a couple seconds.
Yeah,
too.
and David Montgomery is someone who obviously has not done it and probably has to compete with Mike Davis a little bit.
And Tariq Cohen is I mean, he's not going to go away. He's going to get receiving.
I will say with David Montgomery, you said one of the concerns is as athleticism. I'm going to say that word 5 times. But kind of like Matt Nagy keeps comparing him to Kareem Hunt. He's kind of like Kareem Hunt, whereas an athlete, he's like greater than the sum of his parts.
Right.
So I'm excited about David Montgomery.
Nick, let's turn to you.
Miles Sanders. This offense, one of the ones we want a ton of exposure to. Sanders was kind of a little floating behind Jordan Howard at the start of camp, but as camps progressed, Kareem's rising to the top. I think Sanders is taking more of those first-team reps, getting gushed over by the media reporters.
The Eagles beat writers like every day. They can't.
A day does not go by without Mark Andrews, Curtis Samuel, or Miles Sanders.
Right, exactly.
And I really like where he's going in drafts because as opposed to David Montgomery, Miles Sanders is going after that group of Tevin Coleman, Lamar Miller, Austin Eckler, and ahead of Rashad Penny, Latavius Murray, Darrell Henderson, Jordan Howard. Like, I am absolutely in on taking a back that could end as a possible top 12 back if he has a workhorse role in that area than I am someone in the 20s.
On a really good offense.
On a really,
That's why
really good
it's
offense.
actionable and valuable right now because he should be going ahead of Tariq Cohen, Sonny Michel, but he's not.
Wow.
And that's why you should be drafting him, especially as he falls down the board.
This is a different video. I'm kind of back in on Sony Michel, guys, by the way.
It's a different video,
Just a little bit back in. Who have we not? We haven't had on you, John Daigle.
We have not yet. And it's a man I have single-handedly been hyping all offseason because he tested.
Well, single-handedly is difficult, John. I mean, you had someone sitting right next to you right now during draft season that ranked him as a top 20 prospect in the NFL draft.
This is true.
Eagles
And
always trying to take
then he
credit for
tested like better than Julio Jones athletically because that is Miles Boykin. Even looks the part. He has the beat writers already talking all about him. His athletic profile is amazing, as Josh apparently said before me. And then you watch him on film as well in a preseason game. Those team-high 9 targets weren't a coincidence. Like, he literally takes 4 strides and runs himself open. He had a few easy drops on slants, but I'm not worried about drops. The fact is, he got open every single opportunity he got. You watched him. Like,
oh, he just moves differently than everyone else.
Yeah.
He's 6'4", 6'5".
Oh, it's so
just
sexy.
moves differently than every single other person. Issue is it's the Ravens passing game.
Yes, but look around him and like who's going to lead in targets.
Well, they
Mark
also
Andrews,
drafted a first-round wide receiver in Marquise Brown, who hasn't touched.
and we
the
haven't
field
seen him yet on the
in
field.
Preseason game.
Yes, but also smaller, and then injury history slightly concerning. But I still wouldn't
They
say
have 7 tight ends.
They do. It actually is a hard rotation
you?
of 3 as well. And then you're not going to bet on Willie Snead or Chris Moore. Like I think Miles Boykin is the guy you draft.
We might not bet on Willie Snead. John Harbaugh might bet on Willie
That's
Snead.
true.
Though.
Well, he might bet on Nick Boyle as well.
Yeah.
But I could see Miles Boykin being someone in like week 8 starting his breakout. Then I don't think it's going to happen in week 1, but maybe like week 8 or week 11, we just see the rise of Miles Boykin.
The big thing is he's literally an inconsequential pick right now. He is going in the very last round if undrafted. So like he costs you nothing. You take someone you believe can be like a wide receiver 3 upside and start in the playoffs, and you just draft him in the last round and hold.
That's true.
I'll close this video out with Josh Jacobs, who's going as running back 20 now, and he's the lead ball carrier for the Oakland Raiders. What we know about John Gruden is in his history, 10-year history with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, his lead running back averaged 18 touches per game, around 250 touches for the season. What do we always talk about? We talk about 200 touches, 250 touches. We want that. And at running back 20, that value, to me, is fantastic from a volume standpoint because that's around the Devontae Freeman, Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, Chris Carson span and spectrum. My only question, if I can turn the mirror on myself, is that this offensive line might absolutely suck. And that's a big issue when we talk about running backs and
Jalen
creating
Richard.
positive
It's something that can be overcome. I mean, we saw Joe Mixon last year overcome this exact same issue in Cincinnati. That offensive line was terrible, but he was still racking up 100-yard games, just getting fed the ball relentlessly. So it could be overcome.
You worry about game script and a team that has a Vegas
But I
total of 6?
I also think they really believe in his passing game ability. He didn't have a lot of passing production in college, but from everything Chris Sims has told me with his connection with John Gruden and connections out there, and a lot of the other reports that you read, he's being really used heavily in passing game work.
Yeah, one of the worst kept secrets of draft season was that the Raiders wanted Josh Jacobs.
He was on every mock draft.
So we know they're true believers.
My genuine concern is tribalism bias, and it's like John Gruden is not someone who progresses his outlook. He leans on Doug Martin because he knows Doug Martin. Yep. That is genuinely like why I'm worried about Josh Jacobs.
Those are our picks for the rookie breakouts of the 2019 season. And for more rankings, projections, strategy, and advice on how to dominate your drafts, check out the all-new Rotoworld NFL Draft Guide. Now, mobile optimized with a new look and feel. It's never been easier to take our award-winning advice with you to your drafts for that extra competitive edge. Just go to rotoworld.com/draft guide for more.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.